Hi-ho, beefer! Away!
Woo! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Critscast. I hope you had a wonderful start of the week and are ready to sit down, relax with a beverage of your choice and watch some top-tier Highlander action with us. I'm 1/3 of tonight's broadcast, Mr. Don't Give Me More Coffee, jakeowaty, Stroopwafel, Admiral Wiethoofd on production, and someone who, with his name, should probably be preparing defenses for Area 51 invasion, Extrasolar. What are we going to be watching tonight, my alien friend?
Well, sadly, I'm still stuck in Area 51 casting, so I went away for a couple of months. But yeah, we do have the UGC Platinum semi-finals between two teams of quite good caliber. We'd have they're called art throwing in UGC, but really it's just weak haters with a couple of differences. And the same for Gimme opponent, who are just in Vision. But you know, it's UGC, so you get to do all the cool things where like you change two people from your roster, so it's a different team.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, a majority of those rosters are the same for TF2, which most of the synergy will come from. But we're live now with. Seems that Art of Throwing will be defending first, and Gimme opponent are going to be attacking. Stingin is, of course, the Mr. Manager for the Blue Friends, and then Red Team is led by a couple of players. Houston, one of them as well, but Art of Throwing definitely just being kind of on equal footing with Gimme opponent, don't you think, Extrasolar? I think this is going to be one of the closest matches, especially that is the semi-finals after all.
Oh yeah, with Gimme opponent, just their first game in the playoffs was against Valor Esports, so they just knocked out in straight maps. But Art Throwing have had a really strong season, only losing one game across their entire stay here. Obviously we have just Envision, they cleared their first game in ETF2 of the season with 6 points, which is quite similar to Gimme opponent, but I don't know. We'll do predictions later, but for now, let's just enjoy the game.
Yeah, exactly, and right now gates are down, people are ready to go, and then it's going to be a standard A push on the CP Steel map. B is not yet pressured, they're just waiting for the players to come around, as the majority of the players actually went onto A right now. And it seems that B is pretty much untouched. Woe is already in the window area, Utka is there as well, they're slowly capping this, but steadily. And so far, not much has been done, but the first kill of the game will go down to Redwood. Barth is down for the count.
Yeah, like it's often what you see teams do now is they try and push the heavy up top of the demo man just to try and get early kill on the heavy and the soldier and get some sack waste going because they're not really doing much else on that. And as we say that, Astrono also goes down. It looks like Gimme opponent just opting for the classic just snipe and choke on B and trying to slow push that, not opting for any AE shenanigans today because Fire is still up watching all those doorways.
Yeah, here Barth is slowly moving in forward with Dito onto the staircase. They take down the teleporter, which will slow down the reinforcements. Barth is enjoying himself a nice little sandwich. And, well, they're slowly getting ready to push out of the B gate here with Tuja on the medic. Stingin's inching forward. He needs to take down Finske. Finske is just such a threat for a medic head if you allow him any room whatsoever. So far, Finske is just holding far back with the medic quite far in the open as well. They're getting spammed by Snow 8 from the staircase area. Barth is already there in the window, but he's being aimed at it. No, it's just easy shot for Fins to take him down. And Uber, however, coming out here out of Seb. Here, Tuja used his as well, but not much has been done with it.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward trade, really. I think they were relying on their heavy just staying alive there, Gimme opponent, and just doing some more damage on the top. You'd like trying to use them as a distraction for the Uber, but they used so early in. It just let Seb just get a nice little counter of his own, and so far, no frags really going down. Dito has gone down for the blue team, but just the war of attrition continues here on team. But actually, yeah. Strano is in right away with the stop lane, but the sap on the sentry does allow him just to get in and just get W1 on the headache down. Really good play from him with the spy there.
Yeah, your Evil actually had medic in his sight with that spy sickle. Unfortunately, it was melted down. He did get a sap, and Snow used this situation. Doom actually 1v1 with Redwood. He takes one, and he gets another.
We got
triple there.
That's oh my word.
For the engineer.
It's just the map just opens up instantly. As soon as the medic goes down on B, just you see people start taking loads of space. Once you get the sniper heavy up top, get the engineer in, just going in with his shotgun DM. I know he's returned from a bit of a hiatus recently. He was known for his old school engineer, just shotgun fragging. But anyway, that will be falling down for the side of Art of Throwing. They'll be forced back into connector. Not too bad of a time so far. 2.5 minutes of the first point is very respectable. I'm not sure about the connector hold though, seeing as 2 does have the 50% Uber advantage. Of course, it doesn't matter too much in Highlander, but I will be wary. They do a buck watching this cliff area, or slow doors as sometimes called. They've got the dispenser and the sentry and connector, which is a bit of an interesting strategy. I haven't really seen too much of that in the past. But yeah. Houston will move that sentry back passive.
They may get actually spammed out by Dito there. Actually, they do. They have to they're forced back onto the third point already. Holding their Seb, about to hit 100%. That 100% Uber advantage of Tuja was not really used. Dito now low on health. He's waiting for those arrows from his medic, but the gate is slowly opening up.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of disconnect here. Like, I think Red Bull wanted to hold further forward. He's currently sitting on 5 HP, barely surviving there. And the Spy is actually coming up to him. He's probably going to get shot down, but the arrow comes in just in time, but it won't even save him. Evil just gunning him down with that revolver. Redwood is down for the count for the side of Weak Outsiders, and Doom gets sent to the moon and serves in actually takes the fight of Houston, who will die. But Weak are losing a lot of players now. Ubers are equal, but there's not really much of a sea defense they can mount here. Both heavies are dead though, so maybe we can see a little bit of flank work happening here.
Seb's low on health, he's gonna resupply in spawn, he doesn't have anybody to use the supercharge on. Yes, look here, actually leading the charge, Beast is gonna go down like that, but against Uber now the counter comes out, they're not wasting any time with Seb, now the respawn wave has come in. Redwood is just being locked down by Snow, such a wonderful play, but Buck is there to actually take the pirate down, he's low on health, he's gonna fall out himself, but C-point so far so good for the red team. Finsky, nice headshot there onto the scout. But that's about it, and it seems that C-point has been forfeited, and the Art of Throwing is forced back to the D already.
Yeah, I think Art of Throwing there, they just, again, they went one by one to defend the point. Buck was in a good position to just do some damage there, but ultimately he stayed in for too long, which is gunned down by all the hit scan classes in the end. And look at the aggression from Doom here, we're just walking into Death Corridor. Eventually we'll get taken down for his shovels, but look what Gimme are doing. They're taking control of this connector area and just spamming this gun out of heaven, while Buck and company are just sitting there just outside of Death Corridor on the D point. So they just really out-rotated them here. Like, this is something what you see a lot. Teams will just try and, after capping C, they will take connector. Once these bridges come up, it's really easy to get spam onto heaven and get people forwards, and that's what we're trying to do here. This, so far it's been met with success. The gun does go down, and the engineer is down for the side of Weak Cake. Sorry, Art Throwing.
And they're just slowly inching themselves forward here. Gimme opponent using Ubercharge in the white room there. Counter pop out of Sab. They're chasing off those blue players. Stu just kind of locked down, but he's going to get his way to safety into the connector, saving most of the teammates as well. Buck is out there as well, out of the white room. Such a good position to hold for last here.
Redwood gets domed though by Stingen. That's the thing, it was looking really good for Art Throwing for a second there. They got the Pyro in the Uber trade, so there was nothing to push them back. But then they just seemed to just sit in Connector. I think Stingen was sitting in Connector or Heaven at that point, so they just didn't have anyone to take him down. I think Fire got caught out during that fight as well, so wasn't able to take down the sniper. Now look at this cap time on the side of Gimme opponent. They've now just got the battalions back up on the Heaven area, and it's such a hard thing to push when you have the heals up their battalions. It's just really just got to bust that somehow, but it's, you know, they haven't really got time to rotate through white, they haven't really got the luxury right now, and now Art Throwing are just bleeding players. It's going to be about a 5-minute time in the end.
Buck here needs to get on the point, Fire there as well, they can't get people on the point, and they're going to lose it. 5 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock for Gimme opponents. A very, very good time. They pretty much never stop the aggression. Once that medic, Seb, died on the first point due to snow, it was basically just an avalanche that could not be stopped out of Gimme opponent. Now Art of Throwing will have to beat that time, and it's going to be very, very difficult, especially on Steel, which is known to be a very, well, open and varied maps. If I think here, extrasolar, if Art of Throwing decide to go AE push, they may be able to do so, but once they commit, they have to fully commit. They don't have time to allow themselves for mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, Art of Throwing, like, I have been on the team before, on their TF2 version of Weak Case a couple of seasons as well. Like, the AE push is something they have done before. It's a strat that they do favour somewhat. It's quite easy to counter if you really do like what you're doing, and Envision obviously won't be falling for that very easily. But if you can just get the spy down on A really early, that you can't call the rotation, if you get some sacks on B, it also like messes up the red team's rotation. It just allows you to just get in and to get some good cat time on E, and if nothing else, it's a great distraction for a drop down push. And Rebel right now just trying to make some space on A, looking quite hard for spy with his team, and Evil's just sat pretty there in the corner waiting for people to walk past him. Just calling out anything that's happening here. So Fire's trying to work his way into B with not much success. Does take a pipe actually from Dito there. So just a standard B defense coming up. We've got Singen on top here. He does take a body shot onto Fuzz there.
Ooh, Dwo is poking his head out, and well, he sees there's a Houston sentry gun in the way. Well, no, I'm just gonna turn back into the spawn and go to defend B. It seems that Art of Throwing decides to put most of the resources onto the A point, and it seems that we have a pause already. I'm not sure what the reason is. We may try to get information on that, maybe some connection problems, but so far, Art of Throwing, I mean, what they can do essentially is just kind of put all their coins onto E push, and if Gimme opponent actually realizes that and puts all their defense onto E, I don't think they'll be able to penetrate this. Although it is steel and the respawns are just very, very long.
They do have Stinger's currently at 41 health, but there's nothing really pressuring him, so it's like he can just rotate for free in the end. But Evil's just sat here in this corner. He knows where all of the players are going. So even if he dies here, he has called the white room push is happening. You know, we've got Houston packing up his sentry there on the A point. We've got Seb out as well. Like, they know what's going to go down. So I think the best thing here for Weedcake is just to maybe make a drop down push, do a fake white room push and go drop down. They haven't really got the time to waste doing a big B push.
Yeah, if you fail once or twice, maybe there's like one or twice kind of leeway in terms of making mistakes, but to match this time, they kind of have to constantly keep pushing. The last point, with 3 times on it, it takes about 45 seconds to capture. So basically, out of the time we had before, which was already like 40 seconds elapsed, 5 minutes and 10 seconds minus 40 seconds is about 4.5. So you only have 4.5 minutes to actually push all the way and stack people on the and control it until it gets controlled.
Envision did it. Like they had B after 2.5 minutes, and they had E in another 3 minutes and 8 minutes. As we do on pause now. But look where Wiethoofd is. He's already just putting 6 up on white room. So they are aware of this white room push that's potentially going to happen here. Spaz is bonking it, making some space. Seeing if he can call the sticks. But funny enough, the sticks are actually like outside on more of the connector side, so I reckon that could easily catch someone out if they walk through there. And normally the combo will walk through it.
Watch this, Solar. Here, Gimme opponent actually, scoped in, taking down Finsky, opening up all the sidelines, detailed in the connector as well with their medic. They're ready for them. They weren't expecting that this would happen, and this is kind of a stressful situation. Red was now spamming lobbing sticks, but he's getting a lot of damage himself from Detail. Block is a little bit of a precarious spot right now.
Oh, he does get found out by Strona there. Not too good. And the Uber comes in, and this is very precarious here. I think they've realised that Strona was like really far back chasing, so it was a bit of a safe Uber for them, for Weedcake. But now Strona's out in full force, trying to push people into the pit. That's one thing that you really want to try and make sure happens. Like if you're doing the Uber charge in as the attacking team into the AE push, you need to get that Pyro dead, because you can't do anything as long as he's alive. Will push you straight into the pit. And as predicted, Weedcake, throwing. It's very, very difficult casting. I know. They will walk straight into this drop down area. And the sap comes in on the gun, and that will just force Doom to just like run away with his life here as his sentry does go down. Look at the aggression coming out here from Weedcake. They're just taking this ground as soon as as fast as they can find it. But in Vision, they got the heavy in window, and they've got the combo just trying to get the space back down here. They are getting the frags as well. Like really, it was really good aggression from Weedcake at first, but they just seem to get really timid and just give up all the space that they got. They're not doing as heavy in the window either. They're just going to get mulched by Barfis.
Yeah, time is running out. Seb is on 100% right now. They're pushing in onto B point already. There is still Bart is in the window and doing a lot of damage onto the point. Your Redwood has a lot of problems just taking him down, actually. But Stingen goes down there too. Redwood's still alive, and he's gonna lock down Tuja. Tuja is just fighting just to get that 100%. 9-5 onto him. Seb hasn't used his overcharge yet. Barth is just fighting, not taking any damage, forcing out the overcharge. No! He drops the medic as well! And that's a quadra kill for the side of Red. They're holding this overcharge coming out Tuja, but the damage has been done, and B point is still in control.
Oh, that's just unfortunate. They all just probably just clumped up in one massive area, and they didn't like. Barfis took maybe 60 damage throughout the entire fight. He was just free to just kill people out of the window. They even got Stingen as well, so it wasn't like they had a lack of space to deal with there to get anything done. But they just didn't call heavy, and eventually got focused down, and Stingen is back alive now as he snipes Buck instantly. And that's one less person just on the B point for the side of throwing. This time they do barrel the heavy, they got some space going. Reverend has taken the fight at Dito and killed him. Tuya has died as well to the flamethrower of Sis. So maybe it just all works out in the end for Weedcake, but they really just have to go for E straight away after this if they want to have any kind of assurance that they will get this round.
Yeah, there's only 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Sep is just being mercilessly attacked by the red team, but right now is E or die, and now the blue team here are the throwing know about this. Are they losing Bs? However, they've taken 2 names with them in that connector. Barthis and Snow both going down. Crucial players for last point defense, and the respawn timer is just so evil for those defending people. Look at it, they're moving into white room already to lock it down. Red was just locking down spawn, and E-point is being
Stingen, he doesn't even know, he's just like behind white. If they just aggress on Stingen here, he dies. And they have the Uber as well, and 2 is only on 30%. He's getting caught out by Buck. Will get taken down. Now look at their just charging forward, locking down the spawn, taking heaven. This is what you want to do. As soon as if you want to do a BE push, just get your combo through white room, rotate around. Like you will often find that red is just still like looking at connector things that are happening. And if you can get the heavy in heaven with your medic, it's just so hard to deal with. You got the high ground, you got arrows on point, but look at this. really good counterplay coming in here from Gimme opponent. They just focus the Kappas, and suddenly the position of throwing is useless.
Yeah, they're just locked down there.
Nothing on the point. Yeah, now they got control of the white room.
No reinforcements.
Yeah,
and then...
this is really smart from them. They're locking down the white room area. They know there's no teleporter in heaven or in connector up yet, so they can literally just lock down white room and suddenly no one can get on the point. It's just 7 buck in heaven for company, and like, they're going to slowly work singing through white room, I'd imagine, if they want to try and get them out. All they have to do is kill the scout on the point, and it's really easy to do from that white room position.
Are throwing is just holding in the white room currently, that they lose Tuja to Finske. That's a big pick for the side of attackers here, but the E point is only halfway done. 1 minute left on the clock. Bart is gonna eat a sandwich to resupply his health, and right now it's just a bad situation. Dingen, however, is in the window, he's taking out the heavy.
Alone.
He's looking for the medic. Seb is out in the open. He's jamming the shade.
He's sticked off as well
time.
Underneath. Yeah, Seb's
and he gets the headshot just before fire takes him down.
That is the problem. Like what our throwing did there is they only rotated the heavy and the medic up to heaven. Like you need people with you if you're going to do that push. Like, at the very least, your soldier and engineer. But Bees died on the point as he was trying to cap it up, and then suddenly they had just nobody left, and suddenly we're just in dead time now. There's absolutely no way that our throwing can actually get this cap. That is just unfortunate. If you know the medigun's got that range to it. You can't buff your team. You can't like let them move into areas. So it's just really excellent play from the opponent, just showing that they are a high prem team at this point. So all we have to do on steel. Like, I was going to mention that if the AE push wouldn't happen, it doesn't matter what positioning the attackers have as long as you can kill the Kappas and stop the reinforcements getting to the point. And that's why the AE push with the teleporter in heaven is so strong, because you can get the reinforcements straight onto the point essentially, just skip the entire map. But you think steel's just this big like donut-shaped map, and if you can lock down enough, you can just stop the Kappas. And we're going live again, apparently. Like, there's absolutely no delay from either team here.
Yeah, I don't think we want to waste time. It was such a quick round that basically we didn't see... We only saw like 10 minutes worth of a game. Now we're going straight into the second round of this set. Right now, Gimme opponent are just leading with that 1 point over Art of Throwing. Art of Throwing just kind of precarious spot. Now they're going to be attacking first, setting the time, and Gimme opponent are going to be defending. It may be a long time if they fail, but now they have that kind of comfortable situation where they can decide what they want to do. They're not dictated by the time that was set by their opponents.
Oh yeah, like on the other hand though, like, I think that week 8 Art of Throwing is so difficult. They're basically the same team. They just have this. If you have the ADBA, you can sort of just like talk to your team about what went wrong in the previous round, and that's why I was like expecting like a mid-game map talk almost. Like just here's what went wrong in our game. But I think they seem to have realised at the time, like. You can sort of read the TF2 player body language, and Muckins did not look comfortable up there in heaven on their own. But I think, anything could happen. We're still on the first map here, best of 3 on still. Then we've got product, and then if it goes to a third map, it's vigil afterwards. So anything could still happen, and it's best of 3.
We shall see if they manage to equalize this. So far, so good. Nothing out of ordinary. A points getting stacked by the blue players who are the throwing or just moving in most of their players. Seems that, they're being still attacked by Dwo, but Dwo is not gonna do much. You just kind of a deterrent and just showing that, hey, we haven't forgot about this point, but we're just showing our face there. Sis is just spamming, looking for the spy, evil, but no spy to be seen. And so far, so good. Sees that Seb has decided to move with the team onto E already on the white room. Maybe make some kind of a good position. They may be trying to get that sentry gun with Houston onto E point. Maybe lock it down. Maybe go for a cheeky play. That's kind of what they need right now.
Again, we've got Dito, and this time he's put the sticks just way above the doorway, so they can't like check a doorway with stickies just to get it off. And Singen has taken down Houston. That will completely shut down any hope of just the reinforcements coming in for their push. And we've got Singen on the connector, just watching people walk through to heaven. And he's looking to try to get Seb, but Seb does get away in the end. And I think now they're just doing the wraparound connector play, which is the best thing in the end. They can't take heaven, and if you go around connector, you can sort of just get around the pyro. And look at the damage going down onto Detoad here, and he will die in the end. He has been dropped in the Uber, and Strono's dead as well. It's actually really good for Weak Cake here. It's just the 2 you're on his own, basically. You're just singing for company. And now they can just wrap around from the players from the spawn side. But suddenly everyone's still on E. And they're getting capped on E as well. They're looking under spawn. Bit of an unorthodox AE push, but hey, it works in the end if you can just get your players there. There's really good salvage after they lost their engineer.
Yeah, they have good positioning as well. Seb is in a good spot as well.
Oh, no stinger neither.
Going well for them.
Yeah, this is
go and get down. It's gonna slow them a little bit here. The Redwood, so much damage.
And assist, like just walking into connect. But that is just absolutely like fantastic steel play. And I don't think Gimme have got a response to this. Like they're already at 8% cap and only 2 alive. That is just fantastic. But like if you're defending the AE push, you have to play connector and play the Kappas, but this is much better for Art of Throwing. They're just taking the grounding connector, preventing preventing Gimme opponent from getting any ground ball to deny those caps. They've got a spawn lockdown, connector lockdown, aggressive. This is good aggressive steal. This is much better from art of throwing, getting a 2 minutes and 7 seconds time. I mean, the fastest time ever was like 1 minute and 10 seconds, I think, from SNSD when they went B2E once. But yeah, this is certainly like, this is up there with like some of the fastest times.
Yeah, I'm just liking the fast kind of paced rounds here, where people just want to attack and do it well and execute it well. And I think like Gimme opponent had something going on that defense, and ultimately they just failed far too many times. They started trickling players in, and they were locked down completely. They allowed Art of Throwing to resupply, restock with their troops on the front line, and just lock down both spawns. And once you do that, there's literally no other way you can leave. You either go into a demo and a heavy, or you go through to an entire flank class just locking down your second spawn.
Much to say quickly though, like, I mean, I have been in a situation before. I think Gimme opponent got just really overconfident when they got the engineer. It's like, oh, we got the engineer. Now they can them out of heaven push. They can't do anything against us. But then they thought, oh, they're going to drop down on something now, or they'll try and take heaven and can't do it. And then they just instantly go round the back of connector and just completely catch them off guard. Like, no one was looking for that at all. And that's just the catalyst for winning. Like, sometimes, like, losing your engineer can just make you just think for a second and think, okay, now we have to make this work. And sometimes it's just false sense of security for the defenders. And now, the Gimme opponent are just sort of forced now to go for an AE push with some discretion.
There's no other choice, there's no other way. You just have to go for it. And at this time, Art of Throwing is going to be prepared. They have a sentry there already.
Pyro, sentry, and connector, like, they know what's coming. Like, even if they went to B now, it wouldn't matter, because they're just wasting the extra 30 seconds capping that B up. And it's players that could be on E.
Evil though. Oh, he's been spotted by the medic. Just in time by Seb. He was spotted there, and he's going to survive with that ubercharge in the connector.
From Fuzz as well. He's just like watching this sight line, just making sure people can't walk through that for free. It will get forced into spawn, but he's okay. He can just walk back into connector. Like, he doesn't really care if he gets stuffed out of there. And now it's like, you know, Gimme opponent have to. They've got 6 on the point. The red team have, and now it's literally 30 seconds left before they can start capping. Bo is currently sitting inside the bottom of connector and getting stuff done, but Stingen has died, and
Pit Lords have claimed another soul, and in form of
Can we get exclamation mark Pit in the chat, please? Rip Booker.
Oh no!
Oh dear. The Pit has claimed another soul.
2 down for the count.
To a clumsy, painful death.
And I think with those 2 deaths, so have fallen this, you know, the chance of winning this round.
It's completely impossible now. Like, even unless they had like ×9 on cap, and even then they still lose by about a second. Steel is a cruel mistress at times.
Just seems so sad, but now 30 seconds left on the clock, pretty much waiting for the logs right now.
He's his position up here, he's in a cool space. He's having fun.
What you can do is actually, like, it's kind of a round. You won 1 round and you lost 1 round. It's basically back to last round. This is probably the fastest game of Steel we've ever casted, and it's definitely the fastest game of Steel.
Oh, yeah,
best of 3 setting.
WeCake really woke up. Like, they realised that if you press the W key at the right times, you basically just own the enemy team and everything just works out for you. Like, they gave, I wanted to say actually, we didn't really have the words for some reason in the first round. They were just giving Gimme opponent way too much respect, and just being overly cautious about everything, and then they just walked through. And now I think it's, well, we have a pause apparently, just so we can see the scoreboard forever on the screen now. I'm sure everyone wants to see that Seb got 8 points that round and topped his team.
How about we use this time to just really quickly go through the logs? We have 2 logs actually to go through, because they just go back to back. They don't want to waste any time, and just, you know, straight up, not that many kills since those games were very, very quick, but Snow is actually leading the charts with 12 kills alongside Redwood and Dwo, but it is favoring heavily Gimme opponent, obviously, as they've won the first round. Not many drops, just 1 from Seb, from that Barthas play, and then the second round, not much else has happened. Only 6 kills. The top scorer had only 6 kills, and that was Redwood and Sis. This time, 4 Art of Throwing. Gimme opponent just kind of bottoming the charts with 2-1 kill each. I mean, it's kind of the way of playing a game that is literally going to be finished in 6 minutes.
Yeah,
and that is
that's the thing with
Steel
Steel logs. Like, Steel logs can sometimes just be a little bit just like, well, sort of immaterial in a lot of ways. I think the only real thing that you can really derive from it is like, oh, like, I don't know, Barthas died 5 times, and that like was a sign of their pushes being like hindered by a lot of things. And you know, you can go with the heal orders and such like, but even then, just you're reading too much into just the numbers and not the actual game that happened. Like, logs are fine on like most other maps, but Steel's just one of those maps where you can have like all of your team getting like 20 deaths, but you can still get like a 3-minute time, so it doesn't even matter.
We're slowly getting back into the game between Gimme opponent and Art of Throwing, as both teams are now currently standing 1-1 each. It's going to be deciding map round for this map, as we're going to be moving to the second map of tonight, which is which one, Extrasolar, please to remind?
That will be Product, of course.
That will be Product, a map that is very fast-paced as well, and if either team wins this map, the other team wins the second, we're going to be back to Vigil, map that we haven't seen in a long time. As apparently, UGC always kind of makes it a point to play at least one map that is usually unplayed for Highlander, just to kind of try things out, and, well, it's going to be definitely an experience, but we're back into the game. Art of Throwing, Gimme opponent, 1-1. Who is gonna take this one? What do you think?
I think just based off of the confidence that Art of Throwing was showing on that one, I think they've certainly got a chance of taking Steel here. I'm not sure whose pick this is, but either way, like, it looked like it was Gimme opponents in the first round, but then just like Art of Throwing woke up and showed why they're they're going 6-1 rather than like the 5-2 for Gimme opponent in the tables. Like, apparently this is actually Gimme opponent's pick, so I think they'll be. The pressure's on for them to win this map, because if the next map is Art of Throwing's pick, if they lose this, it's very feasible. This could go down in just 2 maps, and of course this season of UGC is single elimination, so that would mean the Gimme opponent was stuck with the fighting for the 3rd place medal.
If you play here on CP Steel, it's kind of like if you attack first, you get to set the tempo, the dynamics of the map for the rest of the game. Now, just back, and well, the gates are open now. Finsky's already scoped it. Redwood is spamming the B spawn. It's just only 2 players on A right now, and majority of them just kind of knocking on the B door. Finsky taken down by Sting, and that's a good opener. Will allow the blue players to slowly trickle out of the spawn safely, move in a good position with Tuja, and maybe use it, but they lose Dito, then they lose Barth. It's going to slow them down. Buck with a double.
Yeah, by just going people down. Oh, Seb is the arrow on him, and we'll get forced out by Strono. And this is really all you need a lot of the time. Like, granted, the gun is wrangled, and apparently Tuya was forced on A. Yeah, Beast was just spamming into spawn there and just forced Tuya. Like, I'm not sure how that happens, but
it's just upsetting a little bit. It's gonna slow them down quite significantly. They decide to dry push it anyway. Maybe get a force out of Seb that will put them in an advantageous position where they're gonna be
forcing in spawn, like the other team don't always know that you forced, so you can just sort of bluff your way through and just act like you've got to. And the Scun is sat there. They've given up this high ground. Pyro just blasting the Buck off of there. Barth is in the window, and Buck is just gonna get gunned down by him. No chance there. No cover from that heavy in the window. And Barth is just going to eat his sandwich. He's probably happy to sit up there. And even though they've got this big disadvantage now, they can just start with people up top. There is no gun, only Redwood to spam. And if you M1 and he can't really spam top, as he's being rushed by Pyro. And look at the ground they're taking. Barth will die to Fuzz. And the Uber shard having force actually by Seb. And again, I don't think they realised that Gimme opponent popped in spawn there, because they're just backing up. They're not taking the fight to them at all.
Yeah, your B is actually taking out Utka in the white room. Sting is also getting stabbed in the background. They're kind of cleaning up at this white room. The red players here and Gimme opponent are slowly getting B all together. Spans is moving behind with fire as well, but they're getting spotted here by Barthez. And I think it's going to be the end of that flanked play. Tuja safe and sound, it's all good, and the B point is about to be captured. Now it's all question whether to decide to maybe push E and C simultaneously. It seems that there's a sticky trap lying there for Barthez, who's going to tank it with those Fists of Steel. Still on ban, still good to go. Utka's already on E point, and well, the blue team is deciding to go for E first.
Yeah, I'm quite cautious of Weak Cake here. They're sort of doing the same thing. They're setting up their sentry late, they're backing out a connector later with this dissent. And they've lost their flank as well, so this could potentially be quite... and flank is dead, so now that Gimme is opting to go for this E push, really good play from them. The flank is down, so that means they're going to go over the entire map, and they have the advantage. Well, currently equal, but they're forcing Art of Throwing to walk into them through connect here, and now they're focusing on the players that are overcharged rather than the point, and they need someone to get onto point in the end here. Wiethoofd is actually like 3 HP and under, and he just picked up in the end, but he still gets Seb.
Redwood stay alive for such a long time, doing so much damage on the point. Now Dito is actually cleaning up.
Oh no, it's Chaos here. It's like 3 up for both teams. Like, what is going on here?
Done. Now Dwo is jumping
there's just
on the
only
point.
A tiny bit of cat's eye needed though, and there's nobody up who could test it. Buck comes in at the end, but I'm not sure he can have damage in time.
What are you doing, my friend? He's jumping off his mini sentry to the point to get it done, but it's so close and not close enough here. Evil actually gunning the Buck.
The respawns are coming in as well, like they do at the back spawn here, and heavy in the Pyro in, tiny bit of cat time required. Even Seb's jumping around onto the point now, gets jumped put into the pit by the Pyro. Only a tiny bit needed, and they get it in the end of 319.
Wow, we're not watching any Steel tonight. I don't think those rounds are lightning fast.
Blink and you miss it.
Just so keen on taking it down, and look at this. Basically, which, like I said, Steel is kind of a game of chess, extrasolar. It's kind of like, you know, one team making the first move, and then the rest of the moves follows, and depending, of course, what your strategy is, the better strategy will always win. And this time around, again, the time is so fast, Art of Throwing will have to either decide, okay, we go AE or ABE. There's no other way. We can't waste any time on any other point, otherwise we'll just lose this map. This is down to the wire. This is the third map, and, well, they're pretty much buck up against the wall, and
they have push in 2 minutes, but you know, again, once you've done that push, you're sort of expecting it, and I think now that the opponent have realised just what happened and how they lost that, they'll be a lot more wary. So maybe if they get the engineer again, this might be the downfall of the AE push if it does come in from throwing. Interesting to see what goes on here.
Yeah,
I love it.
there's
I do
just
like a
light
bit of
defense
steel.
on B. Light defense on B. Doom is in there, Singen's in there as well. Tuja's just healing up players, but they are ready to kind of rotate onto E whenever necessary. Evil there as well, kind of onto A, just feeding information. He's low on health, but he's gonna be fine. B slowly capping A point. Redwood's there, locking down spawn, but nothing out of the ordinary. It seems that Art Throwing will want to go AE push straight up. However, Seb is still hiding in spawn. He's not taking any chances.
Yeah, they have killed the spy, so maybe it's just time for Seb to just start walking out of spawn. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to walk onto A and just see what he can get done and cause some chaos in White Room. We'll see if Dio's in his spot again. He is. He's putting more sticks up. He's got Dwo for company. They know what's coming this time.
Yeah.
You have Sting watching the angle.
If you know what's coming, you can kind of just ignore all the other points and just focus on E. You don't have to care about B, C, D, all the other letters of the alphabet. You just have to focus on E. It's fine. Fire there working on Doom's Sentry, but Doom is just doing work as well. He's going to get shut down.
You know, Sting isn't watching the correct angle here, and they're just going to walk through. Zeb though, he drops B's and Redwood, gets forced by himself. He's forced to cross connector here. Thankfully, Strono wasn't quite aggressive enough to be able to do anything about that. But that's just a really painful moment for Throwing there. They had everything in place ready to get up there, and then suddenly, oh no, we can't do it anymore. And who's this forced to put a sentry up on D? Clock slowly ticking down.
2 minutes. 2 minutes left on the clock right now, and seems that Gimme are holding its strong. Your Finske scoping into the connectors, looking for that opening pick. Both teams at full mercenaries. He's still waiting for that, but nobody is peeking. They know Finske is dangerous, and they are respecting that. But however, there's nobody on E point, so they can't really use it.
They're busting into heaven. They killed Dwo. And like the sentry's watching the point in the end, so Spans will die, but they can get their engineer up into heaven. But Houston's so slow to get up. I think he seems to be watching this D side for whatever reason. With the scouts just bothering him.
Look at Seb right now, and the rest of the team. They're moving behind this
holding the same play. They got B's for company as well. The double spam coming in, but the Strono has lived. And he orders denies Uber entirely. They can't get his gun down because of the Wrangler, and this Uber is nowhere near as successful as it was in the first round for them. Big damage on Dito, though. He is forced out of the connector for a while. But look at the reflects coming in from the Strono. He's just pre-firing that corner, reflecting everything. And currently they're trying to distract with cat time on B, but you know,
left on the clock.
They know their tricks. Oh, actually, never mind. They're coming to like bust B now because the flank's doing it. It's sort of free frags. Look at where Barfus is. I'm not sure if he notices, and Fuzz will just headshot him instantly. He's sort of just trapped in this window area here. Fuzz is just alone on B, and we'll just take down Barfus. Very unfortunate there. But again, 40 seconds left. It's looking like it's possible, and in the end, like Gimme opponent have just hung on and managed to like snuff out that same connector push.
It's kind of anticlimactic sometimes when you know the game is over, that the other team cannot do anything else, and they're just kind of killing each other for the logs. There's absolutely no other reason they're actually playing this game than just play for the logs. There's 20 seconds left on the clock currently, and there's no way in 1,000 years E-point will be capped in that time, which means we'll be slowly moving on to the second map. But Gimme opponent, just this game overall was one of the fastest we've ever seen, and it was a best of 3, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, like, we could maybe even see the entire game out in just, like less than 30 minutes combined, even with the pauses. Like, that was insane. So all that like, the fast-paced Steel game, I do like a bit of aggressive TF2. It's always nice to have that happen. But it's just... I do feel kind of bad for Throwing after they did have that incredible attack, and then it just seemed to lose their footing. It was kind of, again, it's anticlimactic in the end. How just they were completely just predicted at every turn by Gimme opponent on the end.
We're going to take a quick look at the combined logs being provided here by Wiethoofd, and you shall see how it goes out. And of course, I think this is the correct one I'm looking at. Wiethoofd, correct me if I'm wrong, but Redwood here with 22 kills to his name, 15 deaths. All right, it's not too bad. Buck second, actually, with 20. Barth is actually, he had an amazing first round, and the second, third kind of was shut down, was not really doing as much damage as he was before. Only 13 kills on him. He's usually the one that's top scoring. Both snipers actually, kind of low on the kill scale as well. In terms of damage, Redwood still topping the charts with 10k, Dito being second with 9.5. One drop overall onto Seb. He's also used Vaxner, Kritzkrieg, and Medigun a couple of times. And then in terms of deaths, which is also an important stat, especially for the medics, Tuja died 7 times, Seb 8 times. So overall, just kind of very fast-paced, objective-centered game where people weren't really focusing on the kills, more like creating space for themselves to capture those points. And this is pretty much the fastest game, like I said a million times, fastest steal game we've ever seen. Only 32 minutes in total for 3 rounds worth of steal.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually pretty good, like for your team when you've got your heavy just top ranking almost. Like heavy's top ranking on steal is it's not something that happens too much. That just means that you're playing like more combo centric. I think it can let you down in the end though, like on that last round where Arthurian were just playing so much around like Buck and Webb in the end that their flank was just completely neglected and just had like they couldn't get a foot in. And that's how the initial round was won, and the last round in fact was won by Gimme opponent. Just the flank had like no space whatsoever there. It's just like 4 players in a combo by themselves without buffs, and that can just lose you the game. Like control the flank, control the universe, especially a map like Steel.
Yeah, especially looking at the previous round, seems that Finske and Singen kind of evenly matched. Both of them really respecting each other, and both teams really respecting these snipers and their skill. Redwood actually doing quite a bit of damage. Dito not really far behind him either. It's a very closely matched game, despite the fast timers. I'm kind of wondering how fast this is gonna go for Koth. We may even go all the way to 5 rounds in total. It very may be a possibility because both teams, they have good aggression, very, very high aggression, and on the defense side, not quite as much. It's kind of dependent on how the game was dictated. But again, we're moving away from game of chess, and we're moving into a game of NGE.
Yeah, like 9 players just all hop into a GM server, and that's just what product is in the end. But you say it could go to 5 rounds. I'm not sure if they've agreed to best of 3 on all of the maps, but normally this apparently is going to go to best of 3. So normally, the way that UGC works in regular season is you have the best of 3 on, best of 2 halves on a Koth map, but they go to 4 rounds rather than 3. So they have 3 rounds and a break, and then the 4th round if you get 4-0'd. But in playoffs, sometimes the default is having a best of 5, first to 3 rounds sort of thing. But the teams have actually agreed to go to 4 rounds on this product map. So we could actually see 7 rounds in the end, which is absolutely grueling. We go from our fast-paced just game of Steel and just big brain 800 IQ plays, followed by just 7 rounds of everyone getting carpal tunnel and just eye strain from all of the DM that's going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be really funny if that game of Steel will be faster than a game of Koth. It usually is unheard of, but hey, anything can go in this game. This is the semifinals after all. Both teams have really a lot on the stake. Loser will go to the 3rd place match, winner will go to the finals. So there's a lot on the line, all those sweet medals also waiting for their, new owners. And we shall see. I mean, players that we should probably be watching out for on this map specifically is, of course, my favorite, Barth is. He is just so innovative with the heavy plays. He's really smart, and he kind of plays away from the combo. He's not really hogging too many heals from his medic, which means that the medic can heal other players, which ultimately benefits them all. And on the other side, Redwood is just actually, I've seen Redwood play pretty much every single class there is in Team Fortress 2, including Spectator. So
yeah, of course.
He's very knowledgeable at the game. Right now, picking up the demo man, and he's doing well.
Redwood, you don't really expect a load of big flashy triple air shot pipes coming out from him. You expect him more to just control the map with his sticks. And just do all of the good demo man brain stuff. So you're not going to see too many flashy plays coming out from Redwoods because I'd imagine it'll be main calling. But he's a nice control demo, which is what I like in a lot of ways, because you can go for the flashy pipes a lot of the time, but if you're not controlling ground as demo, then what are you doing? But Redwood, he's just a very smart player, and I think in terms of just the flashy plays coming out, people I think we'll see some good stuff coming out from Bees. if he doesn't equip the Market Gardener once this game, we'll be very upset. But the same for Joe. I think Joe and Bees, they both do like going for the spade kills on product. So I would like to see some of that. And of course, Joe, he's known for his proficiency on Soldier. See air shots coming out from him, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be a very
tight
as
game. Well. We can't talk about product without talking about the snipers.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like, Mr. Manager.
Mr.
Manager versus Vac.
Manager Stingen versus the Russian.
The Russian Vac Meister. I mean, I don't even know how many times Finske was kind of accused of hacking. Every single time he was accused, it was cleared by AC admins. I've got
flashbacks. Remember that game, that Warranted game we casted in last season of ETF2L, and Fuzz was just basically farming. He'd just go for pretty much like 4 headshots in a row from the crates area, and like nothing could stop him because he just hit everything for that game. And that was back when he was on Kitty, I believe. And Kitty were in fact actually beaten by Art Throwing in the playoffs game. So Fuzz has taken revenge on his old team in this playoff series, and now he's going to be looking to wreak havoc on product. But I think Stingen versus Fuzz on this map. I mean, Stingen is normally he's more of a patient sniper in my opinion, whereas Fuzz is more of just just go flick shot. He'll go for the really flashy plays. Like both styles have their merits, but like it just depends. I do think overall Fuzz is likely to get the better of Stingen overall, but I think with Stingen's more patient style and staying alive, like Stingen's really smart about playing around spies. Like if the spy is ever dead, Stingen will just sit on China for the entire game and just take shots at everything because he knows there's nothing that can really kill him up there if the spy's down, and it's just really annoying to deal with. I know Fuzz has been playing since pretty much forever, but I think it'll be a very interesting matchup, and we are actually going live very shortly here on product. So again, no time to go through the rosters, but I think everyone's familiar with all the players so far, so that shouldn't matter too much. Jake, quick predictions.
Well, before predictions, welcome back everybody to the Critscast channel here. This is semifinals of UGC Art of Throwing versus Gimme Opponent. So far, so good for Gimme Opponent. They've won their first map, which was CP Steel, as we're going into this game already. Predictions for this game, I honestly do not know. Extrasolar, this could go either way, really. Both teams are so evenly matched, even though they kind of are different in personal skill. It's still very even. Duo is already jumping behind. It's taking down the sentry gun by Houston. He's gonna take down Beast as well, but headshot from Finske is gonna shut down that soldier. And right now, kind of calm on the middle. Dito is kind of far forward. Redwood as well, just putting sticks behind enemy lines, but nobody's really taking too much damage.
For the side of Gimme Opponent now, just look at they're floating across the point here. No sniper to worry about, they can just walk across. There's just Barfis on the cliff there, and don't actually get caught out here, Dito, but he will survive the help of an arrow from Tuya. And he's not giving up though, he's spamming the point across, seeing what he can get done, but eventually they will have to get forced out as Barfis takes a headshot.
Yeah, Gimme Opponent actually a little bit too passive. They've been waiting for those respawns to come in, and also not too much aggression coming out of Art of Throwing. Art of Throwing actually taking 1 kill here onto Snow, and no more pyro for this next push. Both medics at 100%. Seems that Gimme Opponent want to push this one in. They have Ubercharge ready to go. They're edging themselves forward, but they're not really wanting to pop it just yet. There's Evil already behind him. Is going to get spotted by Barthez. A nice pick there by the heavy weapons guy. And now they're ready. They're just both ready to push in, and well, they're wasting time already. Half a minute has passed.
Yeah, when you have the soldier and the sniper down and the spy, like no pick classes, no soldier spawn point worry about. They are going to block action overcharge here. Throwing not really sure that we get too much done for that. And now, but may get caught out because Steel will survive. And look at that, the flank coming in there at the end, and the pipe just going down Redwood and spans. But look how aggressive the Doom is with the soldier. He's got a mini sentry up on the other team's grass, just being a nuisance over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's such a bad spot here, but Beast is there, taking a lot of damage for this, but he does take down the mini-sentry. Doom has to fall back. He is, after all, the winner of Nations Cup, of the winning team. Doom has played exceptionally, and it seems that it's old-school engineer playstyle that is really working out. Whoa, huge jump on the enemy team, but he's going to get destroyed by Beast. Yeah,
I just sort of think there was like a bit of a miscommunication where the team were there. Like, it's a classic jump. I think it was like... It's like Mookie does it a lot in sixes. When he used to play, he just jumped, like a big jump in off the connector and jump when the medic was in main. There's like no way to deny it easily if the medic is there. But Seb was safe on cliff, nowhere to be found, and they are going to just try and push it now. Now there's no flank to the side of Gimme Opponent, and Doom has died as well, so that'll be huge to push forward. Sniper has gone down for throwing though, so maybe a bit careful with the sight lines. Once Stingen does get back up, he's got 3 seconds on the enemy sniper, and actually Evil comes in and stabs Buck. And Red has died during this trade as well. It's not looking very good for our throwing here.
Yeah, your
Not even a
Dito
cap.
getting disconnected from the medic. Your Tuja have reconnects, and they managed to stop this auto throwing push here. Beast on the flank already. Want to repush this. No, neither medic really has the overcharge, and neither team really died. The point is halfway done for auto throwing. However, there's only 1 minute and a half left on the clock for Gimme opponent to finish this one off. Duo is still behind. He's causing trouble. He's gonna take down the medic. No more medic, man. No more art. Well, medicinal. Healing for the red team here. Auto throwing are gonna have to fall back.
On the Spy's on Buck as well, not sure if he realises. Like, the Spy just comes in, like, all the way through Cliff and just takes down Buck. And, Redwood
however,
with the pipe. We said we weren't going to see too many flashy plays from Redwood, but hey, he's proved us wrong. Just 2 pipes the med.
I got the thing that he heard what you were saying, and, well, he took it too hard. He wanted to do it. Oh, Sam
look
is
at this! Oh no! The Spy and the Spike coming in, taken down. Oh. Didn't know where to look. He had a Spy on his back and the demo in front of him. Just couldn't do anything. Just like eyes wide shut. Just dies in the end. Unfortunate, but we can Alpha know what to do here. They've got the medic dead. Now they've got to get aggressive and do what they can get. But Barfist knows he's taken down Buck right away, taking down the Pyro as well, and that will just completely snap out any hopes of getting them any medic. They have gotten a little bit of cap time here, and the Ubers are just equaling out in the end. And it was a really annoying mini-sentry though as well on from Doom, just watching all of Cliff. And they will just try and work slowly onto the point. I'm not sure why I didn't do it earlier, because now the respawns are in. Bees will try and bomb point, but we'll get completely by Utka. Spans in as well, but we'll get taken down in the end by a combination of Joe and the engineer.
Good push there out of Gimme opponent. They knew that the medic really has the overcharge, so they decided to go and dry and, push out the other team using the faster respawn waves. And now Tuja has the advantage over Seb. Seb is on the back foot, 20 seconds left on the clock. He's low on health as well. Evil doesn't know where he is. Oh, he's chasing the medic. There's no health back there. Seb is waiting for the health back to respawn. Oh, Evil misses out on the timing window just a second, and now Redwood is slowly inching forward. They need to get themselves on the point, put a toe on that point if that needs to be. Bugs, they're going to sacrifice himself for the Uber charge. Seb is going to get his, and he managed to finally do it. They're flashing heavily. They have a better Uber charge in this situation right now, chasing down the blue players. Who Doom is going to get a headshot. The medic, however, still survives. Barth is still
the heavy's up as well. He's going to walk straight in and look at that. Joe and the heavy combined there just completely demolish the side of throwing, and Seb is so low and he gets spammed in the end down. Fade away shot from Joe. Nothing they could do, and that'll be the first round. Fairly dominant, really, on the side of the Gimme opponent.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're fairly confident. They already are 1 map up over Art of Throwing. They kind of have to win this map if they want to succeed and fight for the final seed yet again. But we're back into the action already.
Viethoofd is, though, to
yeah.
middle.
This comes back to this story about, Redwood being a little bit more methodical and a little bit playing with the combo here. Dwell already jumping behind, taking down Finsky. 1 rocket, 2 rockets, 3 rockets. He's missing the 3rd one. He's not going to take down the sniper, unfortunately. He's going to fall down himself. Seb is now getting spammed out there. But neither team really wants to get themselves on the point yet.
Bees have been causing havoc in the back line. He's gone behind, taking down the scout and the engineer. Now he's just on Cliff, killing his teleporter. Oh, actually, no, the soldier behind him doesn't realise. Oh, no. That's unfortunate. Bees just puts rocket on the telly, and then gets the soldier, instantly comes in, teleports behind him, and just takes him down in the end.
That's a crit streak coming out of Seb. He only has 2 players alive, however. They don't have the point, and neither does blue team. They're actually waiting out those respawns. What a smart play by Gimme opponent. It shows that, Mr. Manager, which I have heard a lot about him, and I've played a little bit with him as well. He is known to devise those very cheeky strategies. People usually just mindlessly walk on the point, but this time around they just waited it out, waited for those extra couple of seconds that's gonna give them an edge over this crit streak out of Seb.
Yeah, like the manager has been studying his video games. He has mastered the sword, and now he's just wreaking havoc upon the gamers of his brain. And Seb has crits actually in the end. Nothing coming of it though, just so early and so far away. And the counter Uber does come out. It's only Bees on Cliff to try and make something happen here, but he's got a Spy for company and we'll get taken down. And look at that, Seb, Redwood, Bees. It is Fire as well, just all dying there in the end. Really like just a car crash push for them.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good, and of course Seb has gone down there, so he's switching back to a regular medigun, giving him a 30% disadvantage in terms of the Uber charge balance here. Dito getting a body shot, and here's Stingen actually using that time to take down Vinsky, opening up a lot of room for himself. Now he's behind the rock. It's just ultimate sniper spot for this map. Oh, he's getting surfed in! Goes for a butt shot, but there, Buck actually survives this one. He's a heavy weapons guy going in and then regardless here.
Oh my word. Redwood just gets destroyed. Nuked by Barfist there as he tries to jump in, and then Buck goes down to Singer as well. Finally, his killing spree will be ended by Fuzz, but there's so few up here for the side of Art of Throwing. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get much done. They have got their sniper that can get pot shots done, but he has been completely just yeeted off of China there by explosives. And Seb is nowhere near to give him the heals.
And
we've got Evil on him as well. He should
Evil.
die to the spy here, but he's missing everything, and we'll get rocketed down by bees in the end. And that's, you know, the sniper is like still like down for another 2 seconds to the side of Gimme opponent, so he could get in position. He's in main currently now, but throwing just looking to take his opportunity and walk across the point with equal Ubers. But Rebel gets dropped again in the Uber. Seb has not been keeping him alive very well this time, and that's Seb against Scout Uber, and Buck will just get completely just sent to the moon there. And again, it's just another, like, you know, half in, half out fail push from the side of RFO. They got a sniper on the rock here. They've got the positioning, and I imagine that the opponent is going to let them have his cap so they can like wait out the respawns and just get their demo back in really quickly. The spy is back on the point, just causing a bit of chaos there. See what you can do, but bees will die, will kill in the end. But actually, the respawns are a lot slower than I thought they would be. Like, they capped the point. Arthur India, but the respawns are coming in really late for the side of Gimme opponent. Was a decent play in the end from Arthur.
Yeah, 60% onto Seb, 40% onto Tuja. So building a little bit slower here, but they want to go in and regardless. They know neither medic really has the overcharge yet. They're moving in slowly. There's some pot shots being shot into the red team, but they're holding defensively. Finsky take down Sting, and now they have the advantage of one player. Moving in slowly is Gimme opponent. They have a lot of time to work with, however, and they know what Seb is about to hit 100% charge on his medic. He'll be able to survive. Maybe this one. There's a lot of damage coming. Uber is coming out. Redwood is the recipient of that. Barth is just getting juggled up and down. He's using Fist of Steel. What a great play by the Heavy.
He does a little jump up, just flies onto the cliff, that Pasuki bomb. And but Tuya gets taken out by fire. We're just coming up to about 90% Uber charge at the end there. And that's a crucial pick there. Like, maybe Arthur can get some momentum going here. But Stingen is on the prowl on Shine. He's got a pyro for company. Very safe up there. He's getting spammed out by the Heavy, getting spammed out by all sorts. Like the ball coming in from spans as well. They are going to try and set again, but Seb has got the advantage, and of course we see the advantages on the big Highlander. There's a big one for Seb, but he comes in, no! Dwo just jumps over China and eliminates Seb from the server. And the advantage for throwing.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely give them a leg up in this next engagement here. Tuja doesn't even need to use his supercharge because he doesn't even have one yet, but Dio now moving in forward, and a lot of heals are missing on the side of red. They're moving in and trying to take some names with them, maybe slow down this cap a little bit. But as a result, they're just dying. They do take a few kills, though. Barth is Stinging going down here. Utka died before as well. Finsky is still on the prowl. However, the point is going to get finished by Dito. The demo man himself is going to make sure it's completed. And now 40 seconds left on the clock. Nice 100% on the side of blue. And, well, Art of Throwing don't have a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, we got Joe with like just causing chaos in the China area here. We'll get this burnt and rocketed and sniped to death in the end there. No hope for him to survive. So no thanks to him on the ascension of Rome's push. But Rebel does catch a pipe on his way in, so the spam coming out here from Dito is doing a really good job. But look how forward Buck is. He's just walking in, forcing the Uber charge really early. Now Seb is just gonna. He should survive here if he doesn't get bombed, but they have to go straight back in, and they've lost like 4 players for that force. So I'm not sure if it, that's really the correct thing to do in the end.
Yeah, Dito's still alive. He's putting out those sticky traps he can do. Seb is just jumping on the point as a last-ditch effort with Sis, Houston Fire, all getting destroyed. Second point going all the way to Gimme opponent, putting themselves a nice advantage here. Nice, well, head start in this map. And, well, Art of Throwing need to change their strategy, and I'm not sure what they can do about this. Just Gimme opponent are not making many mistakes, and, well, there's nothing to abuse or exploit.
Yeah, they need a few more hero plays, to be honest, just to try and like get the flanking on the combo. Like, I don't think 2 or 3 died too much. Oh, look at that.
That was a nice air shot there on Finsky. He didn't go for the medic, but he did take down the sniper, and that's a good play enough. Opening up a lot of room for Sting in here.
I mean, I always say, like, on the middle put out, like, a sniper frag is just about as good as a medic pick. Because, you basically have the sniper doing so much damage on the middle point, but Fire has taken down Dito there. So, and Drow is doing a huge jump in, but he gets completely just, like, denied there. Nothing he could do about that. Just sent into the wall, like, out of the rocket. There's nothing he could do to the medic. And Art throwing here, they need to get more aggressive. This Barth is on the rocket, who's getting arrowed. And Redwood, they're just giving Singen time to get these shots off. He's killed Redwood and Fuzz here. Art throwing really just need to walk forwards a lot faster in that situation.
Yeah,
so it is difficult when you got the Heavy just distracting of the arrows and stuff against on China.
Once Stinging is there, it's just, there's nothing he can do. There's maybe a spy player, or maybe Finsky taking him down, but if it's Finsky is a visiting spawn, it's, well, hard to take down the sniper. He's on the top of the rock right now, having a nice overview of the battlefield. Points finally getting finished off by the blue team here. Gimme opponent still in control, 100% on their side. Seb is also on 100%. They're just waiting for a good opportunity to push here. Finsky taking down the sky.
He's just in such a good sight line here. We'll get, he's just being watched now by the snipers, not sure, but he does actually get the counter snipe by Stinging in the end there, by planting in the end there. Will die. Oh, look at that force happens. Redwood and Bees combined there to force out the medic. Seb is sitting on 100%. All he needs to do is wait for his respawn. Like, Art Throwing did not control the point, so they just have to wait for the respawns to come in. And they can re-push instantly.
Yeah, your Wiethoofd actually on the Vanguard yet again. He's just such an aggressive demo man player. Your Beast in the back line, taking down Evil, taking down Duo with the help of spans. And they're just holding, well, defensively, holding behind the house. They're not really risking to take too many risks, waiting for the team to respawn here. Seb has still 100%. Huja doesn't have his supercharge yet. So
yeah, Red was just sitting on like the Pride here, just getting loads of spam onto people. But there's not too much happening aside from that. Like, no cap time during it. And look how far back Tuya has already gotten with his heals. He's just all the way back to Cliff. So using early just wasn't the best thing in the end. I mean, it's not a nice little loving moment when the two spies just managed to bump into each other on the other side of the map when they're both close. It's always a nice little awkward moment. But
finally
in the
getting
end,
completed, yeah, by Sis there, where Buck actually doing the job here. And, well, so far so good, but the problem is now the Blues are just swarming the point. They have the player advantage, they have the Uber advantage. Now Barth is just slowly moving forward, the heavy weapons guy. It's just gonna be difficult to attack this point. Snow is also just flaming around, making sure there's no spot behind.
Oh, and B's denied as well.
By B's, but getting denied by Dino.
Yeah, but if you're a bit newer to like Highlander in general and like Koff play, that is just a textbook repush. Like it's just a case of pull push. You pull your team back when they use in early. And then as soon as the Uber's faded, you can just walk straight back in because, you know, they're on your side of the map, you've got better respawns, and you can just walk straight into the enemy team and just get a load of kills, and like, they didn't even have to kill the medic there, and they still have complete control of this point of Eagle Ubers.
It's been a very long while since I've seen this methodical play. Uber coming out of the red team, harder throwing, trying to force out Tuja, but Tuja, great play, late pot there, milked that one as much as he could, almost like a cow in a pasture.
And they just walks across point, that is just fantastic. For
milking those Ubers like cows on pastures here.
They've got 9 players alive right now, and they just dropped 5 for the side of Art throwing. Just in complete control of this game so far.
Yeah, Saz was only on 50 health here, 25%. Tuja is building his supercharge now slightly faster. 45 seconds left on the clock for the blue team to finish off this game with a victory, or not just yet. We'll still have 1 round to go, but they still have a very comfortable situation. And we'll be at the match point here. Evil's gonna get a stab onto Seb just as he was turned around. Using this distraction as to his advantage now. Blue team still in full control.
Oh, the assassination class just coming out here for Art throwing. Like, they got like 5 kills in between them. And look, Wiethoofd just cleaning up the flank at the end there. 20 seconds left. I'm not even sure they're going to get any kind of a look into the point here, Art throwing. They're just completely locked out of the map now by the side of game opponent, just looking so confident. They're so far forward, just getting all sorts of damage and frags in.
Seconds left on the clock. They're jumping on the point. Red was jumping. Hero Blade is going to get destroyed by Wiethoofd. An 8th kill on his gun here in this life. Here, Duo jumping in the back line, destroying, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. This is it for this game. Gimme opponent a victory altogether, going into the finals themselves. Gonna be well, trying to go for the first place, but so far so good. Art of Throwing unfortunately relegated to 3rd place match, but well done to Gimme opponent for securing their victory.
Yeah, like, we have sort of been lied to about having the best of 3 on product, but like, to be honest, I don't think we want to see a 4th round of that. Like, it was just going to be the same round, I think. Like, Gimme opponent were just getting so confident towards the end and just really coming into their own on product. It is sometimes funny when like you do better on the enemy's map pick than your own, but that's just the way Highlander works sometimes, you know. Like, if you can sort of demoralize a team a little bit on the first map, you get the second map and just keep that momentum going.
I just have to say that it's kind of refreshing and also very, very pleasant to see this methodical play from Gimme opponent. Like, I've seen them kind of blossom from this mid team, kind of playing together for a long time, to these absolutely very, very good players with good strategies. They all know what to do. They know what to do in every single situation. They have some star players as well with good plays, and all around a difficult team to beat. I think they have a shot at the finals. But we're gonna take a quick look before we go to that on the logs.
But
for sure.
ETF2, well, they're definitely top left contenders. But right off the bat, like Wiethoofd going 21-4 with 557 DPM. This man is just being an absolute beast today. Can't do anything to stop him. Like, I think he bomb death on the, yeah, he apart from his heavy and his medic, just bomb death on the entire server. That's just incredible. You compare that to the side of Redwood, who, you know, was getting dropped in a lot of the fights, and they just couldn't make the space. He went 6-18. You know, if you got 14 less deaths than the enemy demo, you know, like, your team's just been like running like clockwork. You got a really good game going on. You got good protection, and if the demo doesn't die on product, then, well, basically you lose.
Yeah, here Dito leading with damage as well, 2,500 more than the second top scoring, or it's just Duo. Also more damage, 1,500 over Stingen. Basically, Redwood being the most damaging class for his team, but not as many kills confirmed. Only 6 on him, 18 deaths on the demo man for the side of Art of Throwing. Not really doing too much that game. Tuja also a lot more heals than Seb, but you have to consider that Seb has died 4 times as much as Tuja, with Seb at 8 and Tuja at 2. So it's just been a kind of, like I said, methodical play of Highlander. It's just Art of Throwing are a good team overall. Like, they have everything pretty much what Gimme opponent have. They have very similar skill, very similar experience, but in the end, I think it was down to the strategy and people knowing what to do. It's just at every single point in this game, I could stop the demo and see that I exactly know what Gimme opponent are doing in that exact moment, whereas for Art of Throwing, I would have my doubts about that.
Yeah, they just seem shaky and a little bit unsure. Like, I know, like, Art of Throwing, like, sometimes can just have this thing where there is this disconnect between the combo and the flank a lot of the time. And, you know, I know, you know, just I heard from Bees that he's not particularly, like, happy with a lot of the situation that's been going on with them. So I think it can be frustrating when your team's got a disconnect happening.
Just going to look at the brackets before the finals are going to happen very, very soon as well. Super Dixman Knunen still fighting against We Are Finished currently. We don't know what the exact result of that game is or will be, but we shall know as soon as it happens. Your Art of Throwing, of course, getting relegated to the bronze match for the third place. Gimme opponent advancing themselves to the finals, and that will be it for this UGC game. We're going to be shortly wrapping it up here with Extrasolar, but before we do that, I'm just doing a quick shout out for the Moscow LAN happening this weekend. We're going to be starting on Saturday. We're going to be doing some great plays from Russia, from the heart of Russia, Moscow City, the capital. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there as well. Wiethoofd's going to be there as well, and Aggro as my co-caster for the entire event. Please do check it out. And if you want to just, you know, support us directly, there's always a lot of ways to do it as well. Everything in the comment section below, but that'll be it. Any last words, Extrasolar? Where can we find you? What to follow?
Well, I don't have Twitter, sadly. You can find my Steam, I guess, but, you know, I'm not too big on the fangirls, sorry. I want to ask you though, Jake. You know, you had your classic Moscow LAN shout out. Have you got any personal shout outs you want to give?
Personal shout outs to myself, because I'm the best. I'm absolutely the best, and of course, since there's only one jakeowaty in the world, you can find one jakeowaty by pressing it into Google. It's very simple, and also just shout out to the Critscast. I mean, I love the guys. I love people working here. And of course, check us out. There'll be way more games happening this week. And the games are going to be of very high stakes. So definitely something to watch forward to. But that will leave it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching.
You leave my personal shout outs, Jake. Oh, you're so rude.
This time?
You're so rude, Jake.
Just do it!
Alright, okay. I'll give a shout out first to the Monkey Mode casting organisation for casting mid-grand finals when I was playing. That was a very good cast. I also want to give a shout out to Jim Vickers for being the best TF2 player ever. A shout out to Police Squad for being the officers. A shout out to Cora for being the best girl. A shout out to Goss for being the best wingman. And a shout out to McLean for being McLean, the god of hellfire. Thanks very much for coming out, gamers, and I will see you soon.